You're a wedding officiant and you want more bookings. Well, what are couples looking for? They're looking for proof that you can actually do the job. And no, I don't mean your ordination certificate or a story about how you officiated for your cousin in the backyard last summer, although congratulations on that. I mean photo proof. A picture is worth, that's right, 1,000 credentials, right? And so today I'm going to walk you through exactly how to get great wedding officiant photos from professional photographers and what to do with them once you got them. I'm Mark from Unboring Wedding. I help officiants like you deliver jaw-dropping ceremonies on their very first time and then go on to build thriving businesses. And if you've ever wondered how to get those gorgeous shots of you standing with your couple, laughing, smiling, presiding over their ceremony, you're in the right place. Here's my 9-point blueprint for how to make it happen. Point 1, why do ceremony photos even matter anyway? Why is this so important? When a couple Googles wedding officiant near me and finds your name, your website, your Google My Business profile, they want to know if they can trust you. They don't just want to see a smiling headshot. They want proof. A photo of you officiating communicates that you've done this before and that real couples have trusted you to lead the most important part of their day. Even better, a photo captures the emotion, maybe the couple laughing at their story or tearing up at their vows. That instantly shows the kind of experience that you can deliver, and photos build trust. Without them, you might just be another name on a page, but with photos, you look like the professional that they want to hire, maybe even more than their friend or their relative. So point number 2, you got to get your couple's blessing. The first step is always the couple. Now, legally, you might not need their explicit permission to use their image, but ethically, it's best to always ask them so they're not surprised if and when they come across themselves on the internet in your materials. Now, the way that I handle this is to avoid asking every couple directly after every wedding. In my contract with the couple that they sign when they're booking me, I include an image release clause that says I can use images and stories from their ceremony for any promotional purposes unless the couple specifically says no to this request. Most couples say yes. In all my years, I can think of only 2 maybe who said no thank you, and I respected that. So just include an image release clause in your contract, and when they sign it, you've covered that base. If you don't have a contract yet, you can just ask them, shoot them an email after the ceremony and say, hey, I'd love to use a great photo of you that's come up from your ceremony. I want to show other couples what I can do. Is that okay? Almost every couple is going to say yes and give you the green light. Now, point 3, remember who owns the copyright. This is a big one. Photographers own the copyright to their photos. It's their IP, intellectual property. That means you can't just grab a shot off the internet or Instagram, post it on your website, even if you're in it. Even if the couple has said that's fine, photographers actually don't need your permission to post photos of you and your image, but you need their permission to post their intellectual property. Again, it's theirs. So sometimes they might charge you. I once had a photographer offer that I'd pay $1,500 for a single photo, or hey, if you want an annual license, it's $200. I said, no, thank you. Most photographers aren't like that. I only ever had that one. Legally, though, they can ask that, and that's why I'm mentioning it. So the safest and most professional approach is to reach out first and ask, and just like with couples, 99% of the time, photographers, they're happy to say yes. It's actually the next few points, though, that I want to cover that will make that decision even easier for the photographer to say yes and decide to share with you. So point 4, make friends with the photographers. The easiest way to get photos is to build a relationship with professional wedding photographers that you work with. At every wedding I do, when I see the photographer, and hey, they're easy to spot with the huge lens and the holsters and all the awesome gear, I introduce myself. Hey, I'm Mark, the officiant. Great to meet you. Then we talk about ceremony specifics. And then if and when the time is right and they're not too busy, up to their necks taking pictures running around, I say, hey, do you have a business card? I'd love to connect after the ceremony. When I get their card, I have their blessing to follow up. And for a little extra assurance, though, I always ask the couples for the name of their photographer on my intake form when they book me. That way, hey, if the photographer was a bit too busy at the ceremony for me to ask them for a card on the day, I can go back and look at the intake form and track down their photographer. When you build a relationship, you don't just get photos, you also get another wedding pro who might refer you down the road. And when you crush the ceremony, unboring wedding style, they're actually going to be blown away and they will be referring you. Trust me, check out my course for that in the video description below. Number 5, use this email script. Once you have the wedding photographer's email address, this is exactly what I say in the email that I reach out to them with. I say, hey Sherry, Mark here. I officiated Scott and Dan's wedding on July 20th at the Algonquin Resort. It was such a pleasure working alongside you. I'm always keeping my website and my socials fresh and I love your work. So I was wondering if you might be able to share 1 or 2 shots of me during the ceremony, especially one where I'm with Scott and Dan and we're laughing together during the proceedings. Now, of course, I'll fully credit you on socials. I'll link directly to you where I can. I want as many couples as possible to discover your amazing photographer. Thanks so much, Mark. Now, notice I give specifics so that they remember me, when we worked together, what wedding it was, and I keep the ask really small, just 1 or 2 shots, and I ask for the style of photo that I want. I want ones of the couple laughing, and I promise to credit and link to them. That way, this is not a lot of work for the photographer. You're not asking for a huge gallery, but sometimes they do that. You ask them for a photo and they send you the password of the full gallery, but you want to keep the ask really small, which leads to point number 6, credit every time. If the photographer gives you photos, always credit them on socials, tag them on your website, link to them. On my own site and the ready-made website package I provide for officiants, I provide a clickable button underneath every photo that says photo by Shannon May Photography, for example, so that visitors can link straight to her site. Photographers love this. It makes them much more willing to share photos with you. So again, check out the links for our website service below if you want your own website. You'll see that button in action on the photos in the template sample that we use in all of our officiant sites. Now, point 7, use photos where they count the most. Once you have the photos, put them where they matter. So on your website, big action shot on your home page, your hero section, on your about page, your smiling face, but also you in action. On your reviews page, testimonials with photos of you in action. That combination of words and images is incredibly powerful. Over on social, share ceremony recaps, thank the couple, tag the photographer, even share snippets of the love story of the couple in the images with the images and the caption. Show variety in your officiating. Big weddings, small elopements, fun moments, emotional moments, whatever service you want to lean into, photos of you doing that drive ideal couples, your ideal couple, to reach out to you and ask your availability. Finally, don't forget your marketing materials, anything that you print, advertising your services. It's 10 times more powerful with a great photo of you officiating. And I talk about how if you're going to wedding venues or you're networking and meeting wedding vendors at a wedding show, you want to bring rack cards or postcards that you can bring and leave with them if they want to refer you. You want to be ready and you want to hand that to them. I have another video about networking tips that you can watch here. Number 8, make it a habit. At the beginning, when you're starting out, you're going to want to hustle and get that collection of wedding photos going. So ask photographers for their contact info at every wedding that you can when it's appropriate, and always follow up after every ceremony. Be diligent about that. But once you've got a handful of strong images, you're set. You don't need hundreds. You just need enough to clearly represent your style. Now, update them periodically, just in case your hair is getting a bit more gray, for example. You want to stay current. But for me, I just need that good dozen or so photos of couples laughing at me telling their story. For you, it might be something else. It might be serious, might be formal, beachy, elopement-y, whatever your officiating vibe is. Make sure you're curating a photo library that reflects that style and the ideal couple that you love officiating for. And final point number 9, elevate your fellow vendor wedding photographers. Here's the secret sauce. Always frame this as a partnership, not an extraction, right? Give, not get. Don't just think, how do I get photos? Think, how do I help this photographer get more work too when I display their photos? So that's why I tag them, link them, talk them up. When you do that, they're more than happy to help you. And more often than not, they'll be your best referral source for sending new couples your way, especially because they saw you officiate the entire ceremony and they absolutely loved what you did in that style, okay? All right, if you want to build your practice as a wedding officiant, you need photos. Always ask your couple's blessing, always ask the photographer for their permission, and always credit them when you do share. Photos are not just a decoration, they're your number one marketing asset. They are what make couples say, yes, this is obviously the officiant we want. Look at this picture. If you found this helpful, hit like and subscribe so you never miss a tip. In the comments, I want to hear from you. Do you already have lots of photos of you officiating? Is that your very next step? Have you discovered any other tips that you would add to my list of 9 here that you can share with us? If you want my style and system that makes you one of the very best anyone's ever seen, and you get access to my ceremony automation platform Officiantly, check out the links below for all that. Thanks for watching. Till next time, marry on, and see you in the next one.